Okay, so I'm going to attempt to change the internal hard drive on my Xbox One S. Never done this before. I'm going to see if I get it right. So first thing you got to do is turn it upside down, and you're going to start popping maybe start in the back. Yes. Give it another go. There we are. So there's probably no way to prevent you not breaking some of these clips. I'm going to try to remove this thing. So I got most of it out. I don't think I broke any clips. Actually, maybe I did. I'm just going to keep going on this side, which I got open pretty much. There we go. Ooh, that might have broken something, but we'll see. Yep. Oh, let's see. It's a little unnerving. I mean, I've shucked a bunch of hard drives. It's kind of like that, but on steroids, and a little more nerve-wracking, I must say, than just your hard drive. Try not to scratch this thing. There. Oh, that sounded bad. Why am I doing this again? Okay. There we are. Wow. Microsoft did not make this easy. Okay. Fun stuff. Let's see. So now we got to remove all the, I think it's a T10. Yeah, so T10, you remove all the green screws. Again, T10 is the bit you need. I don't think I broke any clips. Okay, so now I gotta take this C3. C3, B2, okay, it's C4, this one. I'll flip it over. I think if you spread these panels apart, it should come off like so. So you kind of just spread it apart and it just came off. So, and now the metal panel comes off, and the hard drive caddy comes off too. Now I'm going to remove these little black screws here, also T10. A little tight. It might actually be easier to disconnect this stuff, but I'm gonna try not to. Just kind of carefully do all this stuff. All right, it's unscrewed. Should pull right out. There. There's the hard drive. It's a Seagate. All right, let's get the SSD. So I went with a Team Group 1 terabyte SSD. It was on sale. Should do just fine. Plug it in the same way you took it out. Make sure everything's nice and snug. Now I'm going to put these screws in. Same 4 little screws, make sure they're nice and tight. Even though there are no moving parts in SSD, but you never know. Why not do it right? Okay. Make sure everything lines up nicely. There we go. Okay. Put the little shroud back on. I think it helps to put this on. There's like a little cushion here that you gotta kind of compress a little to get on. Now this goes on again. There. That looks okay. I hope these still go in now. Let's hope. Put all these screws back in, make sure they're not super tight, but tight enough. All the little green screws. Might make sense to just kind of do it in a okay. This is nice and tight. So now I'm going to start with the front of the console, because there's more stuff there. I believe, yeah. So I'm gonna start snapping everything back in from the front. Putting it back on is a cakewalk. A little more scratched up, but not too bad. So now that you've put your new SSD in your Xbox One, you're gonna have to go to this website and download the some firmware to put on that SSD. So you're gonna go to this site, which I'm gonna put into the description, this link I mean, and then you're gonna click on this button and download this osu1.zip file. And I have it over here. Well, I already downloaded it, and you're gonna extract all. So again, I just double clicked on here, or you can just do it from here and hit I'm gonna just double click and hit extract all, and it'll extract it into the same folder. Okay, so that didn't take that long. Okay, so this is the folder. This is the extracted $system update folder. And here is my flash drive that is formatted to NTFS. I will show you. NTFS, just make sure it's formatted that way. And we're just going to copy it over. This may take a while. So the file's to finish copying over, so now I'm just going to eject or safely remove this flash drive and insert it into the USB port in the front of the Xbox. Could be the rear port, doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it in the front. Okay, so here I'm going to eject USB disk 3.0 32 gigabytes. So I originally tried to capture the update process of, actually installing the new firmware on my Xbox One, but of course my capture card did not capture it. So basically all I'm going to say is I'm going to refer you back to this website. Just follow all the directions. It's pretty clear. That's basically what I did, and it worked. The only thing I'm going to warn you on is after the update, you may see that the Xbox splash screen goes away. Like the logo when it starts up. In order for me to get it back, I just had to update I went to the system update and updated the newest firmware that was available, and actually that brought it back. There's a much more complicated way to do it, but I also read that you can just try to get a new update, and that worked for me. So give that a shot if you get that issue. So, in my conclusion is I'm going to recommend installing an internal SSD if you have the stomach for it, for opening up your Xbox. I kind of believe that Microsoft should have just done that for the 8th gen anyway, but you can kind of fix it, and now SSD prices are pretty low, especially like the SATA ones, which like the one I bought, I think I paid like $75 for that one, and it's working great. It certainly brings down the load times dramatically from the internal drive, even an external 3.5-inch drive as well. I would also say that if you do not want to open your Xbox One, I would highly recommend you plug in an external SSD, because many times it was actually faster. Not by a lot, but faster than the internal one. But the internal drive reduces the startup time, which is great, because I don't keep the Xbox in like fast boot up. I use the like power energy saving one because I don't really use it enough to justify using the fast boot up mode. I also feel that the UI is much more snappy with the internal drive. It feels, I mean, I have an Xbox Series X and it feels closer to that when navigating, going through menus and loading, the store or anything, or loading anything like Netflix or whatever. It just feels a little faster. And it's just a quality of life improvement that I think is worth the trouble. But yeah, opening up the Xbox did take me 20 minutes or so, plus, having to do the firmware update and all that stuff. So if you don't really care about that and you don't mind leaving it in fast boot up mode, then maybe it's not worth it for you, but definitely put that external SSD in it. Another good reason to put an SSD in your Xbox One is because you can't even find an Xbox Series X or PS5 right now, or it's hard to find, or if you have, it's hard to find it at MSRP at least. So this is why I wanted to show the load times from my Xbox Series X, so you can see that this upgrade kind of bridges the gap. It doesn't get you to that level, but it certainly improves a lot. And please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and please like and subscribe. I'd highly appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next one.